I have now done 4 scripted videos on Christian, although the common theme of these videos is that they are very negative, which obviously isn't surprising. Chris himself is not a good person, and the majority of the people that have interacted with him have had malicious intentions or just gone a bit too far in their trolling. So, as you can tell by the title of this video would be more of a positive look into Christian, trying to look at the heroes of Christian. Firstly, I'll start with one of the first people to actually be good to Chris, and likely the person who has ever been the kindest to Chris, Kelly Andes. Kelly was one of Chris's high school gal pals, one of the few people who felt sorry enough for Chris to actually spend some time with them, although were mostly friendly to Chris due to being paid by Bob. Kelly, along with other people who I'll get onto later, went to Chris's 18th birthday party, giving him a jawbreaker and managing to withstand being with Chris, even with a strange substance on the penile area of his jeans. Kelly even went above and beyond with Chris, staying in contact with him for over a year afterwards, until he forgot, and obviously she wasn't going to remain in contact with him. It really is a testament to Kelly's kindness that she remained being friendly with Chris, most likely knowing Chris's affection for her. The only time any hint of malicious behaviour occurred with Kelly is when she took money from Bob to be friends with him, and when she privately made fun of Chris for this video.
I'm gonna show you some ways on how I can pleasure you orally. Okay? Give you some finger play. But yeah, I could be like, you lick your pretty little click there. Tickle your pussy. Oh, and here's the fun part. I can roll my tongue.
As well as blocking him on Facebook, although in all honesty, you can't really blame her, can you? The next person I will talk about was the only other really major high school gal pal of Chris, Tiffany Gowan. She, like Kelly, spent time with Chris and also went to his 18th birthday party, giving him a rabbit doll with jelly beans. The actions which set her apart from these other gal pals is that she was the only one of these gal pals to actually console him after his grievous graduation, as well as being the only person to dance with him during the senior prom, a memory Chris still holds fondly. Tiffany, unlike Kelly, has remained silent about Chris since high school, so whether she has been malicious or mean to Chris since, we do not know. I will now briefly talk about the rest of Chris's high school gal pals, as they haven't impacted Chris individually as much as the previous individuals. Firstly, there's Miranda Joyce Mitchell, who helped Chris with his website, and during his 18th birthday party, she gifted him a planner with some stickers. These next two may or may not be seen too positively, so you can kind of justify for yourself if you do think they belong in this list. Molly Qualls was one of Chris's gal pals, although all we really know about her is that she called Chris a creeper on her Facebook after finding Chris's Craigslist ad selling used pornography. Sarah Bevel is likely the worst of the gal pals, again spending time with Chris, commented on a lot of things that Chris did on her Facebook, laughing at him for the used pornography, the video Kelly shared, and the picture of Chris in Bob's underwear. The next one I will talk about may also be disagreed with, as the next person I'm going to bring up is Chris's one and only true and honest friend / gal pal, Megan Schroeder. Megan and Chris became quick friends due to them both being slight oddities, with them both going to the game place. Megan remained friends with Chris for around 4 or 5 years, even with Chris being really creepy and touching her, trying to make her his sweetheart. Megan's friendship with Chris was only severed due to Chris himself, with one of the major factors being that he implied he would have sexually assaulted her, with his only course of action being drawing his own pornography of her. Before I move on from Megan, I just want to briefly talk about a little discussion I had with a commenter, with them stating Megan robbed Chris. This is a common understanding, as Megan asked Chris to purchase these items for her on websites such as eBay, with her soon paying him back. She also didn't ask Chris to buy her Nazi memorabilia. She only asked Chris for pictures of German soldiers, not Nazis, as she found them attractive, as they were stereotypical soldiers. Michael Snyder was the manager and later owner of the game place, having to ban Chris for his poor behaviour towards the customers of the store as well as himself. Michael obviously did not care for Chris and his antics, only wanting the best for the store and the people that came to it, not wanting them to be creeped out or insulted by a man-child. Even with the incident on the 28th of October 2011, where he was run down by Chris and Barb, Michael was still very kind, with Chris and Barb only getting charged with misdemeanors instead of felonies. The fact that Michael wanted to reduce their punishment really is a testament to Michael's kindness. As they had literally just run him over, and probably didn't deserve the charges to be reduced. Liquid Chris is likely the most loved of all of the people associated with Chris Chan. Whilst he was an active troll of Chris's, it is widely known that Liquid was never really malicious through his trolling. With Chris, he only slightly mocked him throughout, more playing fun with him than actually trying to insult him or hurt his feelings. This has even been realised somewhat by Chris, who since the saga has never really had any animosity towards him, and, according to the idea guys, mostly even forgot about him. Alec Benson Leary is very similar to Liquid in the sense that he didn't really do too much harm to Chris, only really poking at the bits of Chris that should change. To Chris, Alec has suffered a similar fate to Liquid, with him essentially being forgotten, not regarding him as harmful, as well as failing to remember that he was gifted an Asperture medallion by him. And one of the weirdest situations we've seen in the saga of Chris Chan is the Lars call, where we got to see one of the most socially happy times we've ever seen Chris. And it was in a call where Alec was pretending to be a black man to Chris.
He'd just be all afraid of me and shit like that. And plus, also, I've had past accusations of quote unquote soliciting when I was out in my early days of my sweetheart search, looking for a woman of my own, be using a sign like, I'd be like, current 8-year-old man looking for an 18 to current 8-year-old woman, be my sweetheart and junk. And they'd be misinterpreting that. They'd think I'd be looking for just for the booty call. But no, I ain't looking just for the booty call. I'm looking for the long run, the emotional attachments and everything.
This final mention will likely be the most controversial, with people seeming to be split on this person, with it being Bob. From Chris's upbringing, it is clear that Bob was not a great parent with Chris, not allowing him to go to a special needs school, which could have made a big difference to Chris, as well as allowing mostly Bob to spoil him. The reason I bring up Bob is that he did have other children before Chris that were actually successful, although how much of that was due to him is unknown. As well as this, it seems Bob really did have good intentions for Chris, building the Dreaming Studio, a workshop for them to work in together, although this was likely never used, as well as trying to make Chris pursue the one thing he's actually put any effort into in his life, Soniture. Wanting Chris to make Soniture a champion for autistic people. Well, here's a slight addition after the writing of the script. I looked at the letter from Bob to Chris more closely, and I saw that both of Bob's children stopped speaking to him around 1979. I didn't know if proper contact was ever established again. I'd seen Cole Smithy write about this before, but Cole is unreliable, so I didn't think it was true. But it was. So that's got to show he really isn't that great if you manage to get your own children to stop talking to you. I'm still going to keep this part in though, because I kind of just want to see more about how people feel about him. He was obviously the better parent, but would he be regarded as someone who is more of was more of a positive influence, or should he still be held to the same standard as like Bob is? From this video, I just want to kind of conclude that it's kind of debatable whether there are actually any good people in Chris's story, and it's kind of hard for me at least to rank who was the best person to Chris, or because of Chris's actions, and nobody has been anywhere near perfect, so I kind of just want to see what other people think about the people who've chosen, as well as other people I might have missed. I obviously don't know everything. The final thing I want to talk about is something not really related to this, but is essentially just me moaning over something stupid. The Wikipedia page for the people who have claimed to be Jesus does not include Chris Chan, with somebody doing an edit on it to actually add Chris in before, but then somebody reverted it stating that Chris isn't notable enough, and another person then locked the thread stating Kiwi Farms nonsense. It's not even like there's any justification to it. There's literally a guy who is a chiropractor, and that's it, but he's supposed to be more notable than Chris. I don't understand why there has been this little squabble over something that is literally factually correct. I have no idea with what some of the Wikipedia editors are doing. Well, I have bad timing. On the day of me editing and recording this, somebody has added Chris back into the article, so this kind of makes no point. Hopefully it stays on the article this time. It's the only reason I'm keeping this in, as there was literally no point for him not to be in it. But I don't think it's like a proper editor that's actually done it. So it could change, maybe. Hopefully it doesn't. But anyway, that's the ramble. I hope somebody actually cares about something this stupid like me.